I attended another meeting at the Metro Authority Police Office in Flint, Michigan on September 24th, 2025. Here are the drawings that I did of the board members. I wanted to give a special thanks to this woman, Ray Lynn Hicks. She stood up and said, "If I had to make a decision as to what to do, I would say that I wish that the chief would review information at this time and decide how to rescind this. Thank you for your voice of reason." There were several citizens who spoke, and I drew a few of them. I also want to thank my good friend Missa for completing my speech as it went over the 5-minute limit. And here is my speech with footage of many anti-ICE protests. I want to ask about the agreement with ICE signed by the police chief at Metro Police Authority. I'm sure that all of you are aware that the assaults taking place right now in California, D.C., and Chicago. Why would we invite this mess here? What benefit would it have for us? There is no surge of illegal immigrant crime, but there has been a surge of lawsuits directed at local communities that have helped ICE and signed agreements with them. This whole kidnapping, detaining people for profit, prisons, and destroying their lives is illegal, and everyone here knows it. Most of these people are U.S. citizens or here legally with no criminal records. And when this thing is deemed illegal and abolished, all those who participated, including the Metro Police Authority, could also be held liable, criminally and in civil suits. It could be very expensive. If our officers are so desperate for money that their police chief is willing to bring this inhumane, expensive, and illegal mess to our county, maybe we should be talking about giving them a raise. This whole scheme is illegal, but unfortunately our legal process takes time, and there is a hateful agenda that is being pushed. And the upper tier of our government is squandering away the money that we citizens contributed as taxes by offering it back to our police officers as blood money to illegally arrest people who are too poor to put up a fight. Can't understand what the police chief was thinking. Do we really want this mess here? So, now, let's talk about a battery factory in Georgia. Korea halts major U.S. investment projects after immigration raid. The $4.3 billion joint venture battery facility, among the largest projects in Georgia, is expected to create 8,500 jobs, was scheduled for completion in late 2025 to supply battery cells to Hyundai's nearby EV factory. But construction work on the site is suspended following the immigration raid. 22 other factory sites involving Korea businesses, auto, shipbuilding, steel, electric equipment, have also been halted. 300 South Koreans as well as 175 others were arrested. Now, I calculate the bonuses on that day based on the info that I have been able to obtain, and I believe that we're looking at about $1 million in total bonuses. So, even splitting that between all the arresting agents, that's a pretty big haul. But now, the business community is gravely concerned that major Korean investment projects in the U.S. will be affected, such as the joint U.S.-Korea shipbuilding projects, construction of U.S. steel mill, and expansion of local factories by power equipment manufacturers. I wonder what the local community there thinks of the officers who participated in that mess. All across the country, these thousands of arrests are dramatically impacting every community in negative ways. Factories, construction sites, and agriculture, lots of businesses are closing down because their workers were kidnapped. I wonder if the police chief in that Georgia county was more interested in bounty money than in his community. Or could he not stop it? You see, I think that once the ICE Gestapo gets their foot in the door, they are like a steamroller that you can't control. And if you think you can, I think you are naive. So do we really want the mess that California, D.C., and Chicago are having right now? Which brings me back to this community, our police chief, and our careful decisions going forward. So far, over 50 people have been detained since the ICE agreement was implemented. So probably 50 lawsuits right there. I still don't know what the benefit was that caused the police chief to take it upon himself to sign an agreement that had such a major effect on the people who live here. Why did the police chief sign this agreement? There is no illegal immigrant crime spree going on here. But there is controversy. This whole scheme is being deemed illegal and unconstitutional by judges all over the country right now. Unfortunately, our legal system requires time, and this current regime knows how to slow it down farther, while they ram through the implementations of these illegal acts way before they can be apprehended and stopped. I think that we could be putting our officers in legal peril. Now, I know that you all probably take some kind of oath, but I hope that all of you know not to obey illegal orders. And I'm especially concerned that soon these men are going to be put into positions where their police chief is going to be asking them to do questionable things. And why? What is this all for? There is not a crime wave of immigrants violating laws right now, and you have to know that. All of us have to know that. What is the true agenda here? Is it legal? Will any of us participating in this illegal scheme also be held responsible when all of these abused people that are here legally get their day in court? And they will win. So when they try their cases in civil court, I'm thinking that they're going to receive judgments in their favor. And as abused as some of these people were, well, I gotta say, it will warm my heart to see all the new Hispanic millionaires. But do we want to be involved in this mess? Ask us. Put it to some kind of vote that allows the public to decide if we want to participate in this. Don't let this criminal regime bully us into anything. The ICE agreement needs to be rescinded or at least put on pause until citizens get an opportunity to vote on the issue. We are witness to the most corrupt presidency ever recorded in modern times. The horrible, inhumane treatment that many completely innocent people have endured and people from all over the world has to end. The problem we are having right now, right here, is being witnessed by the world, condemned by the world. And when the craziness ends and the world will demand investigations and trials and convictions and punishments, it will be similar to the Nuremberg trials. And like in those trials, I was following orders will not get you off. I think the prosecutions will go all the way from judges to ICE agents. I believe that by cooperating with ICE, we are putting our officers in legal peril. We shouldn't force our officers to sacrifice their honor, moral, and dignity to supplement their incomes. That's sad. Maybe they need a raise. So why are we so afraid for the people ICE is detaining? Well, from Google AI, it's reported that as of late August 2025, the whereabouts of approximately 1,200 immigrants detained at the Alligator Alcatraz facility in Florida could not be determined. The Miami Herald, which obtained detainee rosters. The situation has raised alarm among lawyers and immigrant advocates who are concerned about the detainees' legal status and well-being. Now, I can't help but think about all those rumors I've heard about military cargo planes loaded with detainees and coming back empty without stopping anywhere. This thing is going to blow up soon. And the money thing? The bonuses, as well as the $50,000 sign-up bonus for 3 years, yeah, he's going to be dead within 3 years of old age, and his regime will be defeated by freedom-loving citizens like me. And then, where will you be? After the trial and convictions, where will you be? So remember, for your sake and for your family's sake, no matter what the incentives are, do not obey illegal orders. We need to rescind the agreement. It offers no benefit to the community, police officers, or the nation. In fact, it puts our police officers in legal peril. Now, let me tell you about my new strategy. I believe that if this agreement is successful, if our officers begin making extra money from this agreement, I'm afraid other community police departments will follow suit. So instead of fighting each signed contract, we need state legislation, like what they have in the state of Illinois. The Illinois Trust Act is a 2017 state law that prohibits law enforcement from collaborating with federal immigration enforcement without a judicial warrant, aiming to protect immigrants from deportation and foster trust between communities and law enforcement. Amended by the Way Forward Act in 2021, The law requires annual reports to the Attorney General's office to ensure compliance and helps to build trust between immigrant communities and law enforcement by ensuring that interactions with police don't lead to deportations. I've contacted Governor Whitmer, and her response was positive. Now I'm trying to convince state representatives Cynthia Neely, Senator Gary Peters, and Senator Alyssa Slotkin to help. I've also invited gubernatorial candidate Chris Swanson to attend the next Metro Authority meeting on October 22nd at 11 a.m. If you are interested in fighting these 287 agreements, I invite you to. Please help.